you know. But we're here. That's Terry Bass.
What
Terry
up?
Bass.
Did you say V?
D.
Oh,
Terry
God.
Bass. You understand? Some people you have to put the D on D.
No.
Huh?
When I really arrive, I put my initial in front of my name. You know, I don't leave that
Like
alone.
the doctor.
You know, like
the doctor
you know,
said,
like
T.
T, Terry, or whatever.
Oh,
However.
all right.
Yeah.
I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. I'm
Or
feeling
you
it.
put your middle initial, L, Terry Bass, because there's an L in the middle.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
See, I should have brought my thing stand if I was thinking.
Good morning. So we get ready to go live, y'all. We got to get some water in my system.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't have eggs and bacon like y'all, or croissant, or what else did we do? Chicken and waffles. Chicken and waffles. I hadn't had any of those. So we're here. We're live, and I'm going out for whatever I had last night. I don't know. But I hope y'all ready, or y'all on your way to work, or already at work with your radio on. So are you are married?
yes.
Married? Or the kids?
Yeah, 2 kids, 3 and 8.
3 and 8.
Yeah, give me a run for the money.
Girls, boys?
Boys.
Boys.
Yeah.
Boys.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, ooh, I hope I can make it. I'm glad I made it on time.
I'm trying to move this mic out the way so they can see. I'm trying to
I was like, maybe I can.
like move the mic out the way. I don't know if that's true. I'm trying to move the mic out the way so we can see. Maybe let's move the stand.
Yeah.
That's better, Jimmy.
Said I woke up to the summer.
Yeah, that's it.
Calling on my friends asking what's the
Okay.
Feeling a little
You know, I got my glasses on. You can't go too far. So just in case you get
I ain't gonna let no clouds get in my way.
Good morning, Karis Connect. Good morning. We're here. We're live at WJ and I, as we always do every Friday. That's right. We're here. And we're here with Adriana. Adriana, tell me, Karis.
Hey, y'all.
So we are here live, and we're going to do what we do best, and as we're going to get into some conversation. But I do want to say good morning before we go live to you all. Hope you're having a great morning. And if you're not, let's change it. Let's get it started. Let's get it started.
Let's get it started.
That's right.
I wonder if they can hear the music. Can y'all hear the music?
It should be able
Oh,
to.
okay.
I turned it up.
Okay. I hope so. I'll share this after.
They don't take it as a test. Hey, you gotta know that today's the day. This is the day that the Lord has made. And I ain't gonna let it slip away. Nah, I'm gonna be joyful.
Good morning. Good morning. 1 minute. All right, y'all.
All right, 1 minute left.
Here we go.
I'm gonna be joyful. Today. I got the joy down in my heart.
Hey.
Down in my heart.
Hey.
Down in my heart.
Hey. I like that.
Down in my heart.
Hey.
I know, good introduction.
Yeah,
Get
I
started.
like that. Hey.
Got 406.3, got the joy. Yes, indeed, that's Dante Bowe on the radio, and I tell you what, it's time to crank it up a little. Karis Connect Friday, and good morning to my special guest co-host. Turn that little down just a little bit, just enough so our social space folks can hear what's going on. But if you hear that, well, you know feedback. You know. You go as loud as you can.
Yes, we
Ashley
do.
Hale.
Good morning,
In
everyone.
the building.
Yes, I'm
You
here.
know, I'm surprised Karen didn't try to sneak through. She's healing up.
Yeah, you know.
Last week, even though we didn't say it, she was snuck in.
Yeah,
But,
she told me.
She's behaving today.
She's behaving.
How about
She's
that?
behaving.
She's almost there.
She's
back with us.
We pushing.
Yeah,
We pushing.
But absolutely, Ashley, you've been, as they say in church, a yeoman's job. She's done a yeoman's job. Let the church say amen.
Why, thank you. Why, thank
That sounds
you.
like something in the church, right? Just been a soldier, you know. And we let the church say amen. Amen. But we do. You've done a great job. Shout out
Thank you
to
so
Troy.
much.
Troy,
Yes.
McLean.
Yes.
Matter of fact, I got to verify that it's Reverend Ed McLean's birthday today. I heard
Oh,
about
wow.
that, so we'll have to shout him out.
Yes.
Indeed. But we definitely are excited because we've got a Lazy Millennial in the studio. Actually, she's not. She's not. And it's Adriana.
Yes.
Adriana is with us.
Yeah.
She has a business called the Lazy Millennial. So,
Lazy
we'll go
Millennial.
straight there. Good morning, first and foremost.
Good morning.
Yes, how are you?
I'm doing great.
All right. Adriana Richardson, tell us what exactly is the Lazy Millennial.
Okay, so the Lazy
Speak
Millennial.
loud. Get close to that mic.
All right.
Don't let it hurt you.
Okay, so the Lazy Millennial, in short, is my management consulting company where I help duplicate what I call duplicate business owners in business. So all that is I document their process and stuff so they can
Okay.
scale and all that good stuff.
Okay, so you kind of keep them on track.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what made you come up with the name Lazy Millennial?
So I am part of the millennial age, and a lot of times people are like, oh, millennials are always lazy, they're lazy, this, that, and the third. But what I do, I cannot be lazy because I am literally managing businesses. So I was just like, you know what? Let me go ahead and make this a thing. Yeah.
Make that, I'll use that name and flip it around.
Yep.
Flip the pancake the other
Exactly.
way. The Lazy Millennial. I love it. I love it. Perfect name. But you, obvious business consulting, marketing, ideas, things of that nature. As
Yeah.
well?
So pretty much I create like the whole shell of the business owner. So like if they have anything they have going on in business or they want to do, if they want to sell their business down the line, I help make sure everything forms and right.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. And you write out of Monk's Corner, Mount Pleasant. The
Yeah.
M's.
Yes, the M's.
That's awesome. Where did you high school? Where'd you go?
I went to Wando.
Okay, Wando in the
Yeah, Wando High.
All right, probably related to my wife.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. I was like, we always, everybody's our cousin pretty much.
There you go. That's right. But the Lazy Millennial, how long have you been in business in this way?
Okay, so let me tell y'all. I've been in business 4 years, but the Lazy Millennial was created last year. So
Wow.
yeah.
All right. So you're new in the Caris Connect platform, and
Yeah.
obviously we got a Caris Connect platform veteran in Ashley Hale and what she does in her you consult.
Yes, I do.
You know.
Yes, I do. So let me ask you this. Being that you do the hard work, I'll capitalize it, do the hard work for business owners. Did you start there? Was that your start? Did you work in, managing businesses, or where did you start and how did you get to this point?
Okay, so let me give y'all the brief overview of how I started.
Right.
So I was never in management. I was always the employee that did extra work.
Wow.
And they pretty much had me doing other stuff in management, but I wasn't management. But I started my company. I actually was volunteering for a nonprofit, I Am Voices. I started out as their admin on the board. And then the founder, Megan, she was just like, you need to make this a business because people will pay for the stuff that you're doing. And I was just like, okay. So she pushed me to get started. I was interested in starting a business.
Okay.
And I started as a virtual assistant. That journey was, I'll probably tell y'all a little bit, but that journey was hectic because the transition from employee mindset to business owner, I couldn't grasp that for the longest. So that was hectic. And then how that started with the Lazy Millennial, kind of got into that. People were coming to me, they needed help. I was like, okay, I can help y'all. But I realized there was something missing. I was just like, y'all need help, but this isn't it. So it took some digging. That's where the Lazy Millennial was born last year.
By fire.
Yes.
In a sense.
Yep.
But you came out on the other side.
I sure did.
And it birthed a business.
Yep.
And that's awesome. And, you were talking about when you were in the workforce, what you were was the workforce.
Yeah, pretty much.
And there's a lot of workforces out there.
Yeah.
And the minute the workforces actually look in the mirror and realize, you know what, I'm a horse.
I'm a horse, yeah.
and they've been riding my back.
Yeah.
They've been on, just imagine a saddle and all the stuff, but nothing happens without the horse.
Right.
So
Right.
now that you have taken that and formalized it and using it, because like you said, when people come to you, it's not because you don't have something of value. It's the exact opposite.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
they need something that they can't do without you.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
that's great that you had the courage to formalize it and turn it into a business. That's awesome, because a lot of people don't go into business
You're right.
because
Of that.
they can't find you.
Absolutely.
And it's like, man, I want to do this. A lot of businesses, I got 400 of them. I ain't never done none of them yet.
Wow.
Yep.
Because when it comes to all that other stuff, that's a
It's a
whole
lot.
task in and of itself. So,
Exactly.
In that light, Terry, let me ask you this, Adriana. Let's say I'm a brand spanking new business, and I have my idea. I have let's say the Skellington form of what I want to do. I come to you. What is that process like?
Okay, those are my favorite to work with. So, like, I take them through what I call the process mapping, or I call it the brain dump activity. So, what we do with that one, if they're brand new, I just take them, tell me your idea, where do you see yourself maybe 5 years from now, and we kind of like map through everything. It's like, okay, like, what does the journey look like? Like, what kind of clients you want to work with? Like, I do things a little different than some like recommendations, but like overall, I just pretty much have them walk me through everything. Because of course, when I do the SOPs, I can't necessarily come up with the processes for them. So like, I'll help guide them to come up with the processes themselves.
Got you.
And then they just execute it. So that's like the biggest thing. Like, I can help you do stuff, but if you don't execute or try to implement it, then it just sits. So like, I stay on top of them implementing.
I would challenge or invite anybody. We're about to got to go into this break, and we're going to continue the dialogue with Ashley and Adriana. Yeah, see, I was
You were right.
the
You don't
first
say
time.
you were right.
I tried to change myself, but Adriana. We are going to continue this conversation, because somebody's out there that's probably like, man, you know what? I think I need her. I
Right.
think I could use her.
Exactly.
I invite you to call me, and I'll go ahead and start to connect. But certainly, the connect starts in the Chaos Connect platform.
Yes.
Right.
It's designed
Yes.
to help further you along,
Yes.
get you into a better space,
Yes.
and it's through the Connect. And
Yes.
you're like an example of Chaos Connect in a healing point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're
Absolutely.
going to come back and chop it up and keep this thing going. It's Chaos Connect Friday, Gospel 106.3 WJNI.
Susan, I'm sorry to wait. Traffic is
So, hey, everybody. So, let's catch up. So, this girl is a gift to business owners everywhere, especially to somebody like me who did not come into becoming an entrepreneur knowing a whole lot. I also felt like as an entrepreneur, there were doors that only certain people could walk through and only certain people could open. And so I was fresh off the press, brand spanking new. And the things that her business provides, going straight in from the beginning, I would have been frank on the money to use her services, number one, because there's just a lot, especially when we're talking about from the beginning, knowing who your audience is. If your business is a good business, if it's going to be good for the consumer, what kind of consumers you're going to have. Just creating a whole, what do they call it? They call it, it's a goal setting, pretty much. Goal setting, long-term and short-term goals for your business. And she's that person that would help you walk it out or help guide you, as she said, which was great for me, because there are some people that you bring them your stuff and they take over and it's their business now and not yours. But she immediately said, that's not me. I'm here to guide you and you do the work. because it is work. But she helps you for some people that can't organize or that doesn't have that multitasking thing in them to multitask and help you work through the little small fine parts of business or starting a business. That's important. Adriana, come on, talk to the audience. What's up?
All right, so I was kind of half listening. What else should I ask or talk about?
So in people starting a business, right? When it comes down to, let's say I don't know anything, right?
Yeah.
And like you said from the beginning, we draft out what we're going to do as far as business is concerned. What's my next step in that?
Okay, so like if you're just starting out and you're just like, all right, I got an idea, let me go ahead and get started. The next step I usually tell people is to kind of visualize. So like the basic platform where I usually create the Lazy Millennial is doing like your dream life. That's where like the laziness comes from, because it's like we want to have our dream life, we want to have like generational wealth, but
right.
A lot of times we don't do the necessary steps, or we're doing too much and it doesn't give us anywhere.
Exactly.
So I have them just tell me about like their dream life, where they see their business at, where they see their personal life, because a lot of that too goes into our personal life. It's like our business is our life, pretty much. So usually with that, I just tell me like what's your vision really, because the whole thing is based off your vision, because at the end of the day, your business is your vision, no matter who you have inside of it.
That's right.
So it all starts off with that. So like, what is your vision with that? And I start off with that, and then I'm just like, okay, cool. So like, you want to get to, I just say 6 figures. Like everyone wants to make 6 figures in business.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, so you want to get to 6 figures. So what kind of services are you doing right now to get to 6 figures? And then we kind of break down how many people, like how much time do you have to realistically get the work done. That's another thing. Realistic.
That's the truth. That's
realistic stuff. But yeah, everything boils from like the mission and vision, and then I just keep building off of that.
So let me ask you this. You even deal with the point of telling me when it's important to hire, that I need to start hiring people, or of the point that you it's too much for 2 hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. That is one of my biggest things. I'm managing a team now, but that is the biggest thing because like I started out as a virtual assistant, and then also because of that, I realized people were hiring before they were ready, because people are always telling us like, oh, hire a virtual assistant, or like get this, that, and the third. But like a lot of times we can actually scale our businesses without anybody. Well, let me not say that. Without ongoing support. You can have like the specialists and stuff come in, like coaches and consultants and all that stuff, but like you don't have to have a virtual assistant and stuff. But yeah.
Okay, go ahead, keep going.
Oh, okay. But yeah, you don't have to hire right away. So I usually tell them like, okay, based on like your vision for like the next few months, this type of person may be good for you, because I don't do everything. Like I do documentation, but like I'll connect them with specialists to really like enhance their stuff. So like they need help with sales, because a lot of times people think they need marketing when it's actually sales they need help with.
Wow.
But like little stuff like that is when I'll tell them like you should hire this person. You should budget this amount for this type of person, like this, because we don't think about budgets either. It's just kind of like,
no, we don't.
Yeah, we kind of just go off. I know I didn't. I was sitting there like, I'm about to make 10K a month. Oh, I'm charging $150.
But never had the how to get to that 10K a month. You know what I'm saying? Even with my business is just a year old and some months now. A month or two, a year and a month, and still. You know, of course, you have those long-term goals, but the short-term goals are the ones that sometimes we kind of skip over, because all we see is the bigger picture, versus
we were coming right back and find out about the Lazy Millennial right after this music. Jordan Armstrong got the one.
Yeah, literally. We jump over those big, you know, because we got those big visions. The small portion of, well, how do we do this and how do we get to that? Because before you can get to 10K, you got to be able to make 1K first.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. How did you know that you were good at this?
Well, I lived through it, first off, but it was mainly fear, because I was like, I knew this stuff, but I was just like, okay, now that like I said, like I struggle a lot with like the imposter syndrome, like the employee mindset and stuff. I was like, I figured as a business owner, I should be operating one way, and I was just like, the light bulb went off, especially during COVID when my business really flourished. I had a team of like 6 and I couldn't even use them because it was just like, it was still stuck on me because I couldn't figure out how to document. I couldn't figure out how to do this, that, and the third. And I was just like, no. I was like, let me get back to what I actually want to do. Cause I was like, I like to work, but I'm lazy. I'm kind of lazy, so that's where the laziness comes from. Because like, if I don't got to work, I don't got to work.
Sometimes have that.
Yeah. So I just went back to that basis and started building off of that, and then I started helping my current clients as a virtual assistant with their documentation, like figuring out who they need to hire and stuff. And turns out they didn't need me as a virtual assistant, so like I lost clients in that process, but like it helped them to save money because like half the time I was just kind of sitting there. They weren't really sure what to give me, but it just ended up helping them save money. They were able to actually scale more because they weren't using the money just for like ongoing support like people told us. But little things like that, it kind of just piled on. And I was just like, you know what, let me go ahead and just shoot my shot. Okay. And then just go ahead and do it.
Get ready to go back live, y'all. Is it just you or do you have a team?
Right now, it's mainly me, but I'm going to be training them. I'm doing like different cycles to kind of figure out the blueprint. But right now, I have a couple of them that help me out with like the smaller stuff. But by next year, I'm hoping I have actual people to help me with the
more different areas. Mm-hmm. That is dope. That is dope.
Gospel 106.3 Charleston's #1 station for inspiration. That's new Jordan Armstrong. And it's called Call. You can make the call and get the help you need with the Lazy Millennial. That's right. You need to make that call. We'll give you the number in just a bit. But first things first, you need to get into Karis Connect platform and connect because she is in the platform. She is Adriana Richardson.
Yes.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing amazing.
Alrighty. And Ashley Hale is amazing. Just
Thank
doing
you.
her.
Thank you, Terry.
Yes,
Thank
indeed.
you.
I was listening in on the stream, and I heard you say, shoot your shot.
Yep.
I'm just going to shoot my shot.
Yeah.
That means that you have a godly confidence.
Yes.
And it has to start there.
Right.
If you don't think you can, then how can you?
Exactly.
You gotta think you can. And then, of course, I heard you say something like you don't like to work. Something to that effect. I don't think that's what you meant.
No.
But in a traditional setting, everybody's not designed to work. I really struggle, not that I can't do it, and I work more than 8 hours a day. Actually, but my job is so different than the regular job.
Right.
It doesn't seem like that 12 hours necessarily was spent. I couldn't sit at a desk for 12 hours.
Yeah.
I can guarantee that.
You know what, Terry? I think more so she was gearing toward the light of people want to work smarter, not harder.
Yes.
Not that people are afraid of working. We all get moments where we're lazy or, quote unquote, let me quote it, lazy. But I think now and we're learning that it's better to work smarter and not harder. Because you beat your brow over killing yourself when you look and there's a whole smarter way to do this and accomplish way more than you were doing, So
look, if the average person was to ask themselves, or if the tooth fairy was to use that analogy, if the tooth fairy showed up and said, whatever you want to do that you love the most will pay you, most people wouldn't be doing what they're doing right now.
You're right.
Right.
So lining up what really you enjoy, and obviously helping, consulting, structuring other people's business is what you enjoy.
Yes.
It's what fuels you and gets you feeling amazing.
Yes.
And that's what people need to try to find. And that's the great thing about Karis Connect. Look at all the different businesses and services we've talked about, actually, over the last year and a half.
Yeah.
Folks.
From gutters to some of everything, to a nail salon.
That's right.
Yep, some of everything.
We had some folks in here, and I can't call them by name, but they identified a need for junk removal.
Yes.
And that's a service. That's a blessing.
service.
That's a ministry to somebody.
Yes.
So whatever it is, if you are drawn to it and you like it more than sitting at a desk for 8 hours and let somebody tell you when to go to lunch,
Yeah.
or when to show up and when to leave. I'm not going to really say what that really is, but it really is what happened 400 years ago. Just structure.
But you know what, Terry? I think that's why I love Kara's Connect so much, because Kara's Connect is literally a view of people stepping out of the box. You know what I'm saying? When you look into, absolutely, when you look in that app and you see the different kinds of businesses, we have counselors, we have nail techs, we have estheticians, we have, I mean, you name it, we have it. Gutter cleaners, we have people that clean the floor, clean buildings, you name radio hosts, singers, you name it. But what it is, life coaches, yes, you know,
you sing, you
yeah,
radio host, life
you see what I'm
coaches,
saying?
Come on now.
But you know, but it is a vivid demonstration that you don't have to work doing something that you don't want to do anymore. And I know it takes process, and sometimes we don't like that word process, but Kara's Connect, if you're not connected, I am begging you, please get connected and learn. Even if you're a business owner and you just want to feel it out, just get on the app and become a member and just watch for a second. You know what I'm saying?
While you're listening now at a desk in a cubicle that you don't own.
Absolutely.
For somebody else.
Absolutely.
Feel it out.
Feel it out first. Yeah.
Step in there and try it out. You know? You know, somebody's sitting right now. Somebody could say, you know what? We always hear the term make lemonade out of lemons, right?
Yeah.
There's somebody right now that makes amazing lemonade.
Absolutely.
But they have never formalized it into try to sell their amazing lemonade.
Right.
And who knows how much money you can make on a hot summer day
Talk about it, Terry.
just selling lemonade. Obviously, with the structure of the Lazy Millennial, she can come in and put that thing together and say, do it like this, order this, set up this. And,
But it goes back to what you said, Adriana. Sometimes it's that thing we call fear. You talked a little bit about it. Give them a little bit about that. You were talking about that.
Oh, okay. So when I finally decided to take the leap to start the Lazy Millennial, because I was telling her, like, I started as a virtual assistant, of course, and then during that time I realized people were hiring me, but they weren't really ready for me just yet. And I was like, something else is missing. So I decided to help them with their standard operating procedures, and I was telling her how I got let go because they realized they didn't need me. Like, they just needed better structure. But so I was like, I'm going to make this into like a business. And I was kind of like feeling things around, like going on Facebook groups, like, okay, like who all does like SOPs as just like a standalone service? And they're like, oh, you can't do that. Like, that's not possible. Like, you can't do stuff like that. So I was just like, okay. I kind of held back for a little bit. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. I was like, like the worst case, and of course, calling myself the Lazy Millennial, I got told, no one's going to take you seriously. You're not going to land too much stuff. And here I am. I'm on Facebook Elevate, all that good stuff. But like, anyway, it just took that moment of, let me just go ahead and do this. Like, I was scared. I was like, oh my God. I was telling my husband last year, I was like, look, listen here, buddy. Like, I'm glad you make enough money, because I was like, like this, I'm probably not gonna be making too much last year. I did, but.
So you stepped out of fear into faith.
You
put your toes in the water.
Yes.
And we talk about that every week. You got off the beach and you actually experienced the water.
Exactly.
And that's really what the Kara's Connect platform is designed to do, help folks. It's an incubator.
Absolutely.
It's a catalyst.
Absolutely.
And to push yourself forward. And if you need somebody like, look, you keep saying the term SOP. Somebody, that's not sounding crazy.
Oh, yeah.
But somebody's like, what was she talking about? Well, call her and find out. Maybe you need that. But that structure, it's good to have somebody that can see things, as you said earlier, Ashley, a viewpoint that you don't see right there.
Right.
You know, you can be in the kitchen thinking you're rolling, but somebody 20 feet back to say, hey, you about to start a grease fire.
Exactly.
But you can't see it because you're right up on it. So they need to be reaching out to the Lazy Millennial. What a name. What's the logo look like? You know, somebody laying down, chilling on the couch. I need to see that logo.
It's funny, I don't even have like an official logo. Like, it's just a text The Lazy Millennial.
Like it's time for a logo.
Yeah, I know. Eventually, I'm gonna get it done. I was just like, let me go get myself out there, and I blew up more than I anticipated.
Wow.
That is what is supposed to happen
Yes.
when you're moving forward.
Yes.
Better to have more work than less work.
That's
Right.
right.
You know, so
That's
we-
right.
We're just excited for you.
Yes.
Now, folks that want to find you in the Caris Connect platform, do you know what tab that would be under? Ashley, would probably administrative.
That, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And then they go
Yep.
reach out, go get
Or
in-
consulting. I'm sorry.
consulting, okay.
Consulting.
Get in the
Yes.
Caris Connect app. It's free on the consumer side, very cost effective on the business side. But
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
do it today. Don't
Yes.
wait.
Yes.
Don't let May get you. How
Please
about
don't.
that?
Please.
I don't want you to do it before the end of the month of May. Let's push this summer and your success forward. But Adriana, I keep wanting to put add extra letters in there. I need your business to help me with that. But Adriana, I got you. What's the last thing you could say to somebody that's been sitting on the sidelines? Obviously, you once worked in a corporate environment. You've done that, and you think you'll ever go back?
No. I'm trying to get inside there so I can tear this stuff apart.
Come on, tear it apart.
She's a ninja, y'all. But she's ready to help your business out there. Small, medium. Is there a size? Do you have any? You know?
I mainly hang around like small business owners or those kind of like gearing towards, but yeah.
And startups and things of that nature.
Yeah, I usually help them too, like different things, yeah.
All right. Well, look, I certainly pray and want to see your success.
Absolutely.
Because you'd be fun. I would watch you on a Oprah show or something like
Yes.
that. Entertaining and information.
Yes.
You know, so just keep doing your thing. For folks that do want to reach out, how can they do that?
You can find me under the Lazy Millennial pretty much everywhere. I mainly hang around Facebook because I have a community called Business the Lazy Way.
Okay.
Y'all can join that.
Yes.
And then of course the website www.thelazymillennial.net.
All right, and of course in the Caris Connect platform.
Yes.
Actually, reach out. We need to get your digits how to reach you for your business because Ashley's a life coach, and
I am.
right now with the stuff that has gone on, I was having a conversation with my mother about mental illness
Yes.
last night, and sometimes I don't want to. I try to be sensitive
Yeah.
Yeah.
to my words, but I usually I say it, and oh well. If you know my heart, then you know
Right.
I'm not being mean. I'm just
Yeah.
it's got to be said. But we were just talking about when she was coming up, the things that happen around us happen.
Yes.
The hate, the struggle, the drama, everything that happened then is happening now.
Yeah.
But they could respond better
Yeah.
for whatever reason. So I can't say what I told her because y'all would be mad at me. But I said, Mom, think about it. What did folks do in slavery time? Did they have mental illness back then?
I believe that.
They couldn't afford to have mental illness.
But you know what, Terry?
Uh-huh.
I can't even say that because culturally things were different. See, this is going to take a turn for the worse. I feel it in my.
I think I feel what you're saying, but
feel it in my inside. But what I'm getting ready to say is to say that we didn't have a label for it. Let me say that.
yeah.
Because culturally there were things slave-wise that we were taught to handle things in a certain way. We were taught that Jesus was going to fix it. We were taught that certain things in a mental perspective, there were certain things even for women that we weren't even allowed to speak out on. So we carried things on a female side that we didn't really become vocal until later on down the line. So I can't really say that there wasn't mental health that was going on. I think the culture and the environment
has
changed.
Absolutely.
And how we could look at it and address it. And now there's more of access and ability for people to open up and speak and say, hey, that hurt.
Yeah.
No, that really hurt me. So, this can go into a long conversation, but I'm going to stop.
I'll say this though, and Ashley can see, you come to me, you're going to leave out because what you say, Terry, you hurt my feelings. She didn't agree with me. Not that she would agree with you, but she would shape it with love. I
Yeah.
think she would give it kind of love. But we do, I believe, need to have the endurance of old
I agree.
coupled with the procedures of new.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know,
I
that's
agree.
really all I'm trying to say.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
You know,
I agree.
you know,
Totally agree.
yeah, because I mean nowadays we cop out to things, and then, well, wait a minute. First of all, you had the ability to talk to more people now.
Mm-hmm.
You had avenues. You could go to a website, get information now. There's many more ways to try to reach out versus
Yeah.
the endurance era.
Yeah.
But reach out to folks like Ashley, and you know, if you need help, call me. I'll be nice. I promise. But just let's help each other. It is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes, it
I'm going
is.
to have a young lady on next week that
Yeah.
wrote a book.
Yeah.
And she struggled with mental illness. So I never want to be insensitive. I
No,
get it.
no.
But I just know that, man, our forefathers and the matriarchs and the patriarchs, they had endurance.
I'm going to
And
say
they're
this
still-
real quick.
They're still around thriving, and they're 80.
I'm going to say this real fast.
Okay.
I'm going to say this real quick. In that light, Terry,
Yes.
they suffered different.
Yeah.
They
Well,
suffered different.
that's role
and
model
it built,
endurance.
and it
And
built.
that's not necessarily
To
right.
your point, no, but I agree.
Mhm.
To your point, when I say they suffered different, they were whipped, they were beaten,
Literally.
and so there was a certain type of tough skin that they had, like you said, the endurance that was built.
Yeah.
Where now, you know, we not as tough. Now, please don't misconstrue
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Mhm.
That there are certain things
We're
that
not
we
as tough. She
should
said it.
we should take. But like you said, join hands with
Yeah.
a level of being able to endure,
Yeah.
because we do need to be able to endure. There are some things that are not as bad. You got to be able to endure,
Yeah.
but
And
at the same
the
time,
attack has become,
aware.
The attack has become sophisticated,
Mm.
and maybe our response is trying to catch up.
Yes,
Maybe that's a good way to say it.
that's
you know?
good. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
So just, you know, reach out to folks like Ashley Hale, Confidential Conversation,
That's right.
and get your business right. Get the health of your business stronger.
Yes.
Reach out to my friend here, the Lazy Millennial.
Yes.
And we're going to do a progress report real soon. See how
Yes.
it's going, all right?
All
I'm
right.
excited.
All right. Well, look, we got to get out of here before they don't let me be on the radio anymore. I got to go. It's time well spent, though. But the Charis Connect platform, get in it, get on it, and everyone have a great weekend, man.
Absolutely.
And stay cool.
Yes.
Yes.
You know? I mean, think about that. We didn't have air conditioner way back then, and they made it through.
That's right. We had, there was a time when even, the air didn't work. We grew up and we didn't always have what we had when I got older.
right.
So we had to down them windows and that.
Yeah.
That's old school. Down the windows. That's right. Look, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna cut the radio off where I get in trouble. You ever heard of the slop jaw?
Yes.
See, they had more endurance. Y'all would die in 2022 if they say, "Hey, here's a slop
Slop
jaw.
jaw.
Handle your
Oh
business."
my goodness.
I'm out. Y'all 106.3.
Opportunity knocking. This is opportunity. I've come knocking. I want to tell you about a
So
company called
everybody,
Jumbo
thank you so much for